Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Send me, same mood. Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna react to Rick and Morty Season 3, Episode 3. I just watched the episodes 1 and 2. If you want to see my reaction videos about this episode, I'm gonna put the links into the eye, and I really think that you need to watch my reactions to these episodes to understand in what mood I am right now. Like, for sure, after what happened at the end of the season 2, I was expecting things to be bad, because we were into certain situations, like it was really bad ones for the context, for Earth and all, but also with the characters. So I knew that it was gonna be bad. I knew that it would be during the episode 1. I didn't know that it would be so bad, that it would be so much worse, than I thought. And the episode 2, I'm sorry to say it, but it didn't improve that much the situation for the characters. For the situation for us, yes, we resolved it, that's it, the aliens, they left. We're back, into this context, it's okay. But for the situation with the characters, it's still awful. Like, we have a Morty who is getting angrier at everyone, who is tired of Rick's bullshit so much that he killed him during the episode 1. And right there, during the episode 2, it was more a situation for him, like how he handled the divorce of his parents. But still, I'm really worried for his relationship with Rick. For Summer, she didn't deal well at all, same with the divorce of her parents. For Beth, she's drinking a lot, she's copying that mechanism, that her own dad, he has to deal with bad situations, drinking a lot, and we saw that she accepted for Jerry, the divorce that he offered her, but she didn't want it. We saw that having a normal family, a family which was functioning well, kids which were functioning well, she wanted to call back Jerry. They were not our real kids, but you've got what I meant. They were nice, they were telling nice stuff, and her first thing, it was, I want Jerry to be back. And she was drinking, and yes, she's not handling the situation well. Jerry is all alone into that place, this neighborhood. He thinks that he's a loser and all, that's so bad. Clearly, he doesn't need that. He needs for people to consider him, finally, to respect him also. I'm tired of so many people, even the wind now, being so disrespectful with Jerry. Yes, that was bad for him to, what he offered about letting Rick to these authorities and all, that was really bad. But it was also because he wanted his family to be safe, and he was tired of all of them accepting everything. Accepting the worst for someone who is treating you bad. That's such a toxic relationship, and that's a toxic context. Jerry offered a way out when the other ones, they just wanted to jump even more into that toxic situation. For sure, I love Rick, so I was against that idea, but can I blame someone who wanted to get out of a toxic situation and a toxic relationship, a toxic person, who is hurting you, but also hurting the person that you love? I'm not gonna blame him, I'm not gonna be against Jerry at any point. And I'm afraid, that some viewers, they are... For me, the post-credit scene of the last episode really represented maybe what some viewers are thinking about Jerry. The fact that they just want him to suffer, to take everything from him, even if it's not necessary, just for the pleasure of it, just for making him suffer even more, and to mock him, and to call him a loser and someone weak and lame. He's not. He's nice. It hurts some persons, when they can see that someone is nice like that. And some people are considering that someone nice it's someone lame and weak. It's not. Yes, maybe I'm talking a little for myself. The situation is bad. Okay, the last episode was funnier than the episode 1, but it's still bad, you know. I'm not having fun, you know. I'm not laughing during all of the episode and all, like I said it. Me and this show, we made a deal to have funny moments, to spend funny times, to laugh, to be entertained, to be in a good mood. 2 episodes now that I'm beginning and finishing it, not being into a good mood. I was stressed, I was shocked. First episode. Second episode, I was worried, I was not reassured. Right now, beginning this 3rd episode, I'm skeptical. I don't know if it's really good to watch a comedy show with that mood. I'm glad about 2 things, you know, for these 2 first episodes. We saw Walking Dead Jerry, Summer and Beth. That was cool to have some news. Even if it was for a short time and all, that was cool to see them. Eagle guy is still alive. Okay, right now he's manipulated, controlled, all of that, but we can have him back at some point. That's great. I don't news about Squanchy Squanch. I hope that he is alive also, he is okay. Tammy is okay. Episode 3 right now. I hope that I'm gonna have the time to watch the episode 4. We'll see with that. Let's go for this episode 3. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon, if you want episodes of advance, again 4 or 5 episodes, which means at least 2 weeks in fact of advance on my Patreon, and with extended or full reaction part. For the episode 1, like for the last episodes of the season 2, I'm pretty sure that I put 2 full reaction parts. Since the beginning I say that I put at least 5 or 6, if not more than that. For the episode 1, I'm gonna put a full reaction part. For the episode 2, I'm gonna see that during the editing. But see, I'm putting really full reaction parts for Rick and Morty, like when I judge that it's necessary. And I'm saying it, extended reaction part, it's more interesting. It seems that it's gonna get even more interesting because of the fact that I have some issues right now when I'm talking to you, when I'm filming, with YouTube, which is blocking my last reaction videos about Rick and Morty, about the season 2, and I don't know why, because the studio, you know, behind Rick and Morty was really playing fair with me during all of this time, because they saw that I was playing fair, I was respecting the fair users, like they were blocking the videos, I was contesting, and they were okay with it, like really in just some hours it was resolved. They saw that I was respecting the fair users. And now it seems that it's not okay anymore, it's not enough anymore. I really don't know what is happening, so that's why I'm forced to cut a lot, or maybe I'm gonna be forced to play with opacity. That's really not something that I want, so if you want really the version, the extended reaction part or the full reaction part, you have that on my Patreon. And you know, the version on YouTube, the first version prepared for YouTube, it's 10 minutes. It seems that I'm forced to cut even more than that. The extended reaction part, normally it's around 4 or 5 minutes longer, and the full reaction part, it's really the full one. That's all, you know, for that thing about Patreon. It's the best way to support me, I'm saying it each time. I'm a little reactor, so if you want really to support me, it's on my Patreon. And I'm also a little reactor on Patreon. I think that you can see it. And yes, if you were hesitating, if you can, even for just 1 month, it can be appreciated. Let's go for this episode 3.
I turned myself into a pickle, Morty! Boom!
Why?
Big deal. I'm a pickle. I turned myself into a pickle and 9/11 was an inside job? Was it? Who cares, Morty? Global acts of terrorism happen every day. Here's something that's never happened before. I'm Pickle Rick!
Same, Morty, same.
Morty, I assure you, I would never find a way to get out of family therapy. I hope my lack of
Therapy.
Why is there a syringe of mysterious fluid hanging directly over you? Also, why is the string attached to it running through a pair of scissors attached to a time? Well, Morty, if you must
On
know,
purpose.
the syringe is completely unrelated to this discussion.
Enough. Kids, it's time to go. We don't want to be late.
What are you doing there, Beth?
You don't want to get pierced by a needle full of liquid unrelated to your situation. How's that going to help?
Can't argue with that.
Great. We'll see you later.
Hey, be careful with that. Okay, I may have fucked up here.
You're gonna get bored really quick. You're gonna get eaten by a dog just passing right now.
Oh, great.
Oh, a cat.
Whoa! I know what it looks like to you, Izzy, but I'm not a snake. I've seen the YouTube videos. I know cats are scared of cucumbers and pickles because they think they're snakes. Pickle! I'm a pickle! Whoa! Whoa! Oh, crap, that sun is bright. This is the mega genius equivalent of dying on the toilet.
You search for it. I'm sorry, I'm not scared.
This is how I want to die. Oh, God, moisture. God, dial it back a little bit here.
I don't know why it reminds me that episode, you know, into Malcolm in the Middle with it was an hamster, no? Oh, we saw all of his journey. Are they gonna eat you then?
Come on, that's it.
Why? Eh?
Yes!
And you're proud.
I was told there was a grandpa that might be joining us. He got wrapped up in an experiment. Like legit, like on an intergalactic sci-fi level.
Acting proud of
Very.
him.
Turn himself into a pickle.
Morty, Mom's talking. I'm sorry. Does Grandpa turn himself into a pickle a lot? What? No. What kind of question is that? The kind that wasn't designed to attack or hurt you in any way. Oh,
And still,
Jesus Christ.
you're into the defensive
No,
mode.
he's unpredictable and eccentric. The whole family is. Speaking of which... Okay, let's open things up to the whole family. Why do we think Grandpa turned himself into a pickle?
To avoid that conversation.
Could you be a little more driven to the right?
How many of them did you kill?
Yes! Whoa, is it your friend? Don't worry, he died doing what he loved, being a dumb fucking rat.
Even into the underworld with rats and insects, Rick, you're a genius, but an evil genius.
Oh yeah!
Am I really watching a pickle fighting rats? Kamoulox. I didn't explain you what it is. I need to during the reading.
Obviously, Morty and Summer are seizing on your arbitrary pickle obsession as an end run around what was supposed to be their therapy. Pickle incident is a better path than any other to the heart of your family's dysfunction. I think it's possible that you and your father have a very specific dynamic. I think it's possible that dynamic eroded your marriage and is infecting your kids with a tendency to misdirect their feelings.
Oh, you're good.
Fuck you.
Nah.
I never gave you a name like Star, Stripe, or Goliath. That's because to me you aren't special. You were special to rats. Now they're dead. God damn it.
The situation is totally normal, really. It's insane, it's impressive, but
Pickle Rick!
no.
Get that parkour! Get that parkour!
Fuck, Rick.
It's cool. Just need to find the nearest exit. Whoa! No need to freak out. No shit yet. Bezo Paco thing.
Where are you? Ah,
Don't shoot to him.
oh boy.
We got it.
No.
This pickle doesn't care about your children. I'm not gonna take their dreams. I'm gonna take their parents.
Like you can send an explosion.
You can stay dead to the world and die in this room, or you can kill a pickle for me and earn your freedom. Our country is a prison. Then Katerina is a prisoner. Perhaps I could arrange her escape as well. She lives, Jaguar.
Jaguar?
Do you think when your father asks for that syringe, you could ask him?
He won't have to ask for it, okay? He won't need it. He'll just make more. He doesn't need anything from anyone.
You admire him for that.
And you're wrong. To admire him for that and to think that he can protect himself even as a pickle. But you know, we know that he loves his family and he needs his family. 2 seasons to prove that.
Is it done? Jaguar?
Oh, are you pronouncing
Okay,
that?
you win.
Jaguar.
Pickle Man, I'm on
Jaguar.
Coming for you now. Pickle Man, there's $100 million worth of bonds in a safe on level 2. I'll give you the combination. Call me a helicopter, you prick! Do we have a deal?
Take that money, give it to Jaguar's daughter when you set her free, or I'll be visiting you. Jaguar's daughter is dead. Huh? So
You're an intelligent pickle.
Did you hear that?
I don't think
Jaguar?
so. See you soon.
Is the helicopter here? Yes.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm right here.
Okay, really?
Farewell, Solenia.
F-15s are scrambled. This helicopter will be shot down in 7 minutes. Pickle Man, it's too late for me to tell my daughter I love her. But not for you. Well, she knows. I mean, we don't really buy into that kind of crap. In fact, I even abandoned my wife and daughters in an alternate version of Earth that was taken over by mutants. Okay, good luck with that.
He was cool.
Afraid
It would be cool to
that
see him
pumpkins will
again.
get expelled? I would like you to tell me what's in the syringe.
It's a serum that I need to stay alive. I've sustained a lot of damage. I'm pretty close to death, which the serum will prevent.
By changing you from a pickle to a human.
Yes.
Rick, why did you lie to your daughter?
So I wouldn't have to come here.
Why didn't you want to come here?
It's the
Because I
truth.
expect it, transform, create, destroy for a living, and when I don't like something about the world, I change it. And I don't think going to a rented office in a strip
And you were afraid of hearing those truths.
Rick, the only connection between your unquestionable intelligence and the sickness destroying your family is that everyone in your family use intelligence to justify sickness. You seem to alternate between viewing your own mind as an unstoppable force and as an inescapable curse.
I love that therapist. Can we keep her?
I have no doubt that you would be bored senseless by therapy. The same way I'm bored when I brush my teeth and wipe my ass.
Yeah.
Repairing, maintaining, and cleaning it's not an adventure. There's no way to do it so wrong you might die. It's just work.
Work on yourself.
Well, some people would rather die. Each of us gets to choose.
Oh, I love her.
That's our time. I'm going to give you guys my card and hope to hear from you again. You have any friends or family that eat?
Sorry I lied to get out of the thing. I shouldn't lie to you.
Oh, it's fun. I mean, thank you, and yeah, you shouldn't.
I know it was Morty peeing his pants and Summer snorting glue or whatever.
She huffed enamel, and we never even talked about it.
You're continuing to lie
Gonna go back?
Sweetie, can I get that
to
syringe
yourself,
Oh, I'm sorry. You must be in agony.
now?
but you know the truth at least.
We should get a drink.
Really? Like, go somewhere?
Alcohol?
Let's drop the kids off.
You have the same issue?
Absolutely.
It's a way to deal with bad stuff.
I liked her.
It's not that bad. I'm gonna come back to it. Where are we?
Morty, we're goners. We're not getting out of this one. After everything we've been through, this is how we're gonna die. For the E-Splat!
Jaguar!
Jaguar! Who was that, Rick? That, Morty, is why you don't go to therapy.
Oh, we might see him again, you know? Like, if the writers, they are really blocked into a situation because they made it so weird, so complicated that they can't find anything to get out of a situation, they might use Jaguar for that. That's gonna be cool. I really think that we're gonna see him again. That was not so bad! You know, I told you during the intro that the first episode of this season 3 was worse than what I thought, when clearly I was stressed and anxious about that first episode, and in fact it was worse than what I expected. That the second episode was maybe funnier but was still really bad. This one looked really bad also. Not really bad, but bad. But it's ending well. First, I want to talk about the message of this episode. I'm gonna go back, with what is happening during it, for the story, for the characters, but just to talk about the message of this episode, about avoiding to work on yourself that much that you're putting yourself into bad situations, worse situations, awkward, weird, dangerous situations, just because you want to avoid to go into a therapy to work on yourself. And the fact that when you work on yourself, maybe you think that the issue is that, but in fact it's something else, someone else who should go in therapy and not you. All of that, I think that it's so great, so great to have that message, all of these messages, in fact, around therapy being explored like that into an episode of Rick and Morty, a comedy show, into an episode like that, into a comedic way, a funny way, because it's the best way to talk to everyone about the fact that going into therapy, it's a good thing. Avoiding it that much when you clearly need it, and again, by putting you into weird and dangerous situation just because you want to avoid it, it's not gonna work, because at the end, you're gonna finish into therapy no matter what, because you truly need it, and you're gonna finish into therapy being more hurt than if you would have gone to therapy earlier. Rick during all of this episode, and Rick's conclusion of this episode. I'm gonna come back later to their conclusion for this episode, the conclusion of the characters, but let's go with that. And Beth, who thought that she was into that therapy for her kids, but in fact it was her the issue. It's the same than when you go into therapy and you think that your issue is that, and in fact it was something else. Or also when you're pushed by people to go in therapy, in fact it's these people who should be in therapy because they have also issues. That's also good messages, and hiding the truth to yourself during so long, even if everything is pointing at it, everyone is pointing at it. Good messages. I think that I said it for sure in other videos, but maybe not in the Rick and Morty's videos. At a certain point into my life, I had a bad period of time into my life, and I went into therapy during less than 2 years. Something like that, and it truly helped me. I worked on myself. I got, better for the healthy part, for the physical part, because I was, my psychologic, my mental health was impacting my body, also my physical health. But also inside, I worked on myself. I understood stuff about myself, and also, all of what Rick did and all of that. That's why I'm talking about it, about avoiding therapy, and in fact it's worse, and when you're going into therapy you're into a worse position than you would have been if you would have gone earlier. I can totally understand that, because when I went in therapy I was really at my worst, and I could have gone in therapy really earlier, and I thought about it earlier, but I wanted to avoid it, to play blind. No, I don't need it. No, I'm strong enough. I can do it. No. Finally, no, and I knew it. Inside of me, I knew it. And I went into therapy maybe a little too late, because it impacted my physical health and stuff like that, and also my life. And it would have been better to go into therapy earlier. But sometimes also you don't choose, it's difficult to talk like that to yourself, to convince yourself, to have the courage to go in therapy, because you have also to be brave, because to confront yourself to your own issues, it's really you have to be brave enough, you have to be strong enough also, or in my case, you have to be such in a worst situation, and like also for Rick's case during this episode, you have to be such in a terrible situation that you have no other choice. That was my case. Okay, that was just to talk about the message of this episode. Again, I think that it's really cool to have a show like that, exploring it. For the story itself, clearly all of the Rick story during this episode, it was, a reference to a lot of movies, like all of the Die Hard movies, all of the Bruce Willis movies, all of these movies like that. It was funny. At some point already, if you're just like saying a line to resume what is happening on screen, you have Rick who transformed into a pickle, who used insects and rats to be able to move, to fight Russian guys into an embassy to make them explode with a Jaguar guy. Like really, that line out of context, it's so weird. It's a Kamoulox. That's it. I didn't explain to you during the review of the last episode what Kamoulox is, when I said it already during the last episode. Kamoulox, how can I explain that? Into an old French TV show, not a show like, not a series, but a TV show really with a lot of short comedy things, into it. They created a false game which was named Kamoulox, and the purpose of that fake game, it was to say the weirdest things, of all. Like really, you could win that game by saying, I jumped on someone's shoulders and I said hee-ha, and that person flew and we went on Pluto and we came back with an elephant. I'm not sure that I would have won with that one, but I think that you've got the thing about it. And so now in France, if someone is saying something really weird, and if someone is putting into one single sentence a lot of words which shouldn't be together and out of context, which would mean really a nonsense total, some other people can say Kamoulox, just as a joke, as a reminder of that fake game. It's really like if someone around you is saying really something really weird and something which is like a lot of words, the why, and yes, it makes sense, but it makes sense only for this situation and it's so weird for someone else, and yeah, you can say Kamoulox and everyone around is gonna understand that it's a reference to that old TV show. Everyone is gonna understand the absurdity, of that sentence, of the moment. That's a funny joke, that you can make. That's it. So for me, Rick's story during this episode was an entire Kamoulox situation. For Beth's part, for the family's part, I said what I said. Clearly Beth, she thought that it was about her kids, but no, it was about her. And the issues, that her kids, they have, it's also because of the situation that she created. I don't think that they're mad at her, I really think that they're just trying to deal with it. In another hand, in fact, I think that they understand her reasons, and they understand that it's related to Rick, to her relationship with Rick, which is really an issue. All of what this therapist said during that session, you did such a good job, I really loved it. And Beth, she's clearly into a denial, even if at the end of the session we had a moment of truth with Rick saying the truth about the serum, about why he went into a pickle form, all of that. And even if Beth heard all of that, they chose to forget it because it's easier for them, like into the core. They prefer to make jokes about it, to not talk about it, in fact, and to say stuff about their kids, to say stuff about that woman, that therapist, to not go for it anymore. And the fact that they are ending by saying, let's take a drink at Shawnee's, a drink, I said it, Beth, she has an issue with alcohol, like Rick has an issue with alcohol. When they have to deal with a situation, a bad situation, they are drinking, they are alcoholic. It was for that, you know, that reference to alcohol at the end. And the Shawnee's world, it was Rick's dream world, you know, refugee, something like that. And right there, the fact that they both want to go into it, it's really like you want to go into that part of your mind where you're at peace and nothing else exists. Like, it's also a reference to that, I think. So that's why, even if I don't appreciate that conclusion that the characters are making, I prefer the conclusion that this show is making about that moment. I understand still the conclusion that these characters are making, and I don't think that it's a bad end, it's a bad conclusion, because I can see that we're progressing, it's not so bad. At least he said the truth, you heard the truth. You can choose to be blind about it, to not hear it, to act like nothing happened, but it happened, and that's great. For this show, for Rick and Morty, we can have consequences about it at some point. Not right there, not right now, but little by little. We didn't have news about Jerry during this episode, I don't like that. But if it's to see him being all alone, being hurt, being mocked or something like that, if you have just that to offer for now for this character because the other ones are not in a better place, I'm okay to not see Jerry. Okay, I think that I'm gonna stop this review right now because I want to watch the episode for today, you know, to end that session of binge watching of 4 episodes. For one day, you know, it's already great, it's already enough. And if it's getting better like that, it would be great. Like, really, first episode I was so shocked, so mad also, and so second episode mix. This third episode, it's getting a little better. So please, episode 4, be nicer, be funnier also. I want to lose already. Again, that deal that we made, this show and me, it's not that. Okay, end of the review. It's all for you for today, and it's all for me for now, so bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.